The introduction of a mandatory data breach notification scheme into Australia for the very first time, which is very exciting. It's intended to sit alongside and form part of the existing Privacy Act. The last set of major changes we saw to that Act were back in March 2014. These changes, introducing the mandatory data breach notification scheme, are set to commence on the 22nd of February 2018. It's been introduced to better protect the privacy rights of individuals and to give the community more trust in the government agencies and businesses with which they work at a time of increased cyber risk events occurring. It impacts those Australian businesses and government agencies that are already subject to the Privacy Act. Previously, they had the discretion to decide whether to declare a breach event or not. That discretion's now been taken away. The obligation is mandatory. Last year we saw 107 voluntary declarations to the Commissioner. This year we're expecting a whole lot more. March 2014 saw the Privacy Commissioner take on a whole raft of new powers, including the powers to levy penalties and fines of up to $2.1 million for corporations, along with a range of civil powers. I'd argue, however, the bigger reason to comply is the impact on an organisation's reputation in the event of a breach occurring. Organisations will be required to notify under the scheme where there's been a breach that causes serious harm to an individual. They're required to notify both the individual and the Information Commissioner. There are two examples worth talking about. The ones that we read about in the newspaper, the criminal hacking examples. The other example are the less known about, the employee mistakes when you leave your laptop on the back of a cab, or you forget your USB, or a fat finger example where you press the email and send it to the wrong person. Those are a few examples of data breaches that we often see. Well, now's a great time to review your information handling practices. The first thing I'd be suggesting is dust off your privacy policy and make sure you update it and refresh it to cover the notification obligations. If you don't have a data breach response plan in place, then get one in place and update that to make sure it covers your notification obligations. Another suggestion is to revisit your vendor arrangements to make sure that those arrangements cover notification obligations adequately. It's all well and good to have these policies and procedures in place, but they need to be living documents. You need to be raising those documents and rolling them out across your staff so that your staff are aware of their obligations also. You need to make information security a part of the way you do business.